The universal feeling in modern work is that of constant motion, yet often this motion yields diminishing returns. We are busy, but are we productive? The difference between those who accomplish massive results in a short time frame and those who remain perpetually overwhelmed is not effort, it is architecture. High-output productivity is not a collection of random hacks. It is a meticulously engineered system where every component serves a specific protective function. This system is the 5-layer productivity stack. It is an operational blueprint designed to deliver non-linear results by focusing not on time spent, but on value created. By installing these 5 interdependent layers sequentially, you configure your workflow for maximum efficiency and sustained deep work. Layer 1 is the foundation of the entire structure, the principle of disproportionate results. This is the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle, a quantifiable observation that approximately 80% of outcomes are generated by just 20% of the inputs. This principle is found everywhere, from software defect rates to sales revenue distribution. Its application to personal productivity is transformative. Most individuals spend 80% of their energy on tasks that only contribute 20% to their meaningful goals. The critical action in this foundational layer is the ruthless analytical audit. You must stop working merely based on urgency and start analyzing your historical output. Identify the activities, the specific 20%, that move the needle forward for your career, education, or personal mission. This requires tracking where your time goes and correlating it directly with the results achieved. For a business owner, this might mean realizing that 90% of profit comes from 3 specific services. For a student, it means identifying the core concepts that unlock 80% of the exam score, rather than passively reviewing every page of every textbook. The successful output of Layer 1 is a short, highly selective list of the vital few tasks, the activities that, if neglected, guarantee failure, and if executed, guarantee success. Without this foundational clarity, all subsequent efforts are misdirected. Once the vital few tasks are clearly identified, they become the protected input for Layer 2, systematic prioritization. This layer moves beyond simple identification to organization and defense. The fundamental mistake most people make is relying on a reactive to-do list, which is merely a record of intention. High-output individuals operate on a proactive time map. This requires scheduling the high-impact tasks identified in Layer 1 as mandatory, non-negotiable appointments in your calendar before the week begins. Psychological research confirms that the act of pre-commitment, deciding the time and place for action in advance, significantly reduces the cognitive load associated with initiating work. Every Sunday or Monday morning, dedicate a block of time to review your vital few goals and translate them into specific time-bound tasks. This process is about designing the week rather than simply reacting to it. You must allocate specific time slots for the 80-20 tasks, defending these blocks against all other incoming demands. By scheduling these priorities first, you ensure that the urgent but unimportant tasks do not consume your most valuable resource, your focused energy. This systematic approach transforms your calendar from a passive record of meetings into an active strategic defense of your most important work. With priorities securely mapped onto your schedule, Layer 3 activates focused execution through time blocking. If Layer 2 is the strategy, Layer 3 is the tactic. This is the operationalization of your plan, requiring deep work discipline. Each scheduled time slot in your calendar is now treated as a dedicated session for a single high-impact task. During these blocks, the focus must be absolute. The science of productivity shows that context switching, the habit of checking email, switching tabs, or responding to a notification, incurs a significant cognitive penalty. This penalty means that even short interruptions can take 20 minutes or more to recover from, drastically reducing the quality and speed of output. Time blocking minimizes this friction. Effective execution often employs 90-minute blocks which align with the natural ultradian rhythm of the human brain, followed by a scheduled 10 or 20-minute break for mental recovery. This structure is crucial. The break is not a failure of focus, it is a necessary part of sustained focus. By strictly adhering to these dedicated blocks, you move from merely spending time on a task to intensely investing attention into it, maximizing the output per hour. This layer is the engine of the entire stack, converting intention into tangible results. However, even the most rigorous time block can be derailed by external interference. Layer 4 is the defensive perimeter, the continuous elimination of time wasters and distractions. This layer protects the integrity of your focused execution blocks. Distractions fall into two main categories, digital and interpersonal. Digital time wasters are the most insidious. The constant pull of notifications, the habit of checking email every 10 minutes, and the endless scroll of social media. The solution here is systematic removal and batch processing. Instead of allowing email to interrupt your deep work, designate specific, non-critical times of the day, perhaps 30 minutes mid-morning and 30 minutes late afternoon, to batch process all communication. Outside of these windows, the inbox remains closed. Interpersonal time wasters involve the inability to say no to low-value requests, unnecessary meetings, or taking on tasks that should be delegated. High performers understand that saying no to a low-priority task is saying yes to their highest priority. This defense requires setting clear boundaries around your time and communicating those boundaries effectively. By systematically eliminating the friction points and guarding your attention, Layer 4 ensures that the focused work planned in Layer 3 is completed without erosion. The true scarcity in modern work is not time itself, but sustained, protected focus. This layer is dedicated to defending that focus. The final layer, the capstone that ensures the entire system does not break down, is Layer 5, the meta layer of weekly review and adjustment. Productivity is not a state of being. It is a feedback loop. Systems require maintenance, and continuous improvement demands objective analysis. This is the habit that the most successful CEOs and entrepreneurs take seriously, as teased earlier. At the end of every week, dedicate 30 to 60 minutes for a structured audit. This review is not about self-judgment, it is a data collection exercise. Ask specific questions. Did I execute the vital few tasks identified in Layer 1? Which time blocks were most effective, and which were interrupted? Where did the distractions in Layer 4 originate? Did I set realistic expectations in Layer 2? The answers provide the necessary data to refine the system for the upcoming week. Perhaps you discover that your energy levels are highest in the early morning, requiring you to shift your deep work blocks earlier. Or perhaps you realize that a particular recurring meeting is a persistent time waster that needs to be eliminated. This weekly review transforms your routine from a static process into a dynamically improving architecture. By analyzing performance and systematically adjusting the parameters, you ensure compound improvement, making you progressively more effective over time. This layer is the difference between working hard and working smarter, faster, and with increasing precision. The 5-layer productivity stack is now fully operational. The foundation of the 80-20 rule directs your attention to the highest leverage points. Systematic prioritization schedules those points into your calendar. Focused execution ensures they are completed intensely and without interruption. The elimination of time wasters defends the system against erosion. Finally, the weekly review guarantees continuous optimization. The power of this structure lies in the sequence and the interdependence of the layers. Skipping the foundational layer of prioritization means you execute intensely on the wrong tasks. Neglecting the defensive layer means your focus blocks are constantly fragmented. The entire architecture is designed to shift your output from a linear return on time to a nonlinear return on focus. If you are serious about achieving more in a single week than most people accomplish in an entire month, you must transition from working harder to engineering your work. Start today by installing the first layer. Conduct a ruthless audit and identify your vital 20%. Then commit to building the remaining structure layer by layer. Your time is not a resource to be spent, it is capital to be invested.